Today, the sound of anti-aircraft alarms spread over the territory of almost all of Ukraine. As reported by the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the Ukrainian army repulsed Russian attacks on several cities and towns in the Donbass. Yesterday, the aggressor carried out 5 rocket strikes, 23 airstrikes, and made as many as 60 attacks with the use of rocket launchers. The Russian army struck 30 localities, mainly in the Dnipropetrovsk, Kharkiv, Zaporizhia, Kherson, and Donetsk oblasts. The violation of the international humanitarian law in the temporarily occupied territories has become the norm for the Russian occupation forces. In the village of Rubizne in the Luhansk Oblast, troops of Kadyrovtsi began evicting civilians from private homes to accommodate their officers there. In his daily speech, President Volodymyr Zelensky emphasized that Russian losses are approaching 65,000 fallen soldiers. He called the special operation by the Kremlin a funeral operation. The situation in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions is very difficult, especially in the vicinity of Bakhmut, where fierce fighting is taking place. We hold our positions. We are doing everything to make the occupiers feel that they have no prospect of victory. Whoever they send to fight us, it will end in defeat for them. Looking at the Russian funeral operation, it can be said that even 100,000 dead Russian citizens will not make the Kremlin reflect a bit. Meanwhile, yesterday at the Russian training ground in the village of Sawoty in the Belgorod Oblast, during an exercise with weapons, a shooting took place. At least 11 people were killed and 15 injured. According to the Russian Defense Ministry, 2 of the attackers were killed. Yesterday, a terrible event occurred. A terrorist attack took place on the premises of one of the military units. There are no inhabitants of the Belgorod region among the wounded and the dead. As the United Kingdom Defense Ministry said, the Russian defense industry is unlikely to be able to produce advanced ammunition at the appropriate pace. According to U.S. and Ukrainian intelligence, Iran is strengthening its commitment to supplying weapons to the Russian army. In addition to drones, Iranian factories are also expected to provide surface-to-ground missiles. In turn, last Friday, the world spread the news that Elon Musk will withdraw from Ukraine's satellite support, as he is no longer able to finance it. Musk's SpaceX demanded that the Pentagon take on paying for the Starlinks. SpaceX is not asking to recoup past expenses, but also cannot fund the existing system indefinitely and send several thousand more terminals that have data usage up to 100 times greater than typical households. This is unreasonable. According to Musk's calculations, financing for the satellites would cost more than $120 million by the end of the year and nearly $400 million for the next 12 months. A day later, however, Musk changed his mind, which he announced on Twitter. The hell with it. Even though Starlink is still losing money and other companies are getting billions of taxpayer money, we'll just keep funding Ukraine government for free. The Starlink telecommunications satellite system is a significant support for the Ukrainian army. It allows Ukraine to maintain key communication services during ongoing military operations, even in the event of destruction of the mobile and internet networks.